And in Your America Tonight, the end of capitalism appears to be upon us thanks to a relentless assault from the White House and congressional Democrats. Now, the latest hit came courtesy of Barney Frank, who has quietly set in motion legislation that asserts government control over all salaries at companies that receive federal bailout funds. Here with reaction tonight is Rebecca Diamond and Sandra Smith, both of the Fox News Network. All right, Rebecca, tell me that you don't want this. Tell me that you don't have a concern that Tim Geithner is proposing the takeover of companies or the ability to take over companies that haven't received bailout money. Tell me you don't want the government offering car warranties as they now are. Tell me that you have some disagreement with...
Okay, so your first issue and your setup there, so you want us to give our hard-earned taxpayer dollars to companies with no strings attached?
No.
That they can pay them anything they want?
No, I want the...
So you want AIG to happen. That's fine if they can pay them those bonuses, even though that group...
Want my answer? I want no TARP. I want no stimulus. I want no omnibus increase spending. I don't want a $4 trillion budget and stealing from our children and grandchildren.
Well, I think that, but that's not the issue we're talking about here. They're doing this. You know, these companies have our bailout money.
Okay.
So you're going to put no strings on it? But what they do have, the companies have billions. Citigroup has $45 billion of our money. You want no strings attached? You want to give them carte blanche?
All right, let me answer your question.
They can do whatever they want with our money?
Let me answer your question with a question. Do you want your government, Tim Geithner wants the power, Barack Obama wants the power now to be able to seize companies whether or not they've received federal bailouts? Do you want to live in that America?
To be able to seize companies whether or not. The FDIC already does that.
I'm not talking about they're not talking about FDIC.
They already do that
with
banks.
They want the right to expand it to any company that they deem would impact the economy. True or false?
And Kate, that is absolutely true right now. Barney Frank is wants to put this in motion, and I'll tell you what's already happening. Iberia Bank, this is a small bank based out of Louisiana, came out today. They received $90 million in these bailout funds. They're giving it all back, as well as a few of the other small banks out there. Why? Rebecca, how do you retain our top talent in this country? How do we attract top talent?
How do we into this mess, Sandra? The top talent out there that's getting bonuses shouldn't be there. They shouldn't be getting bonuses.
Listen,
Let's bring in new people. Sean, you and I talked about getting rid of Timothy Geithner because he was at the New York Federal Reserve that got us into this problem. That's our top talent, Sandra.
If you look
at the Treasury Secretary.
If the government's going to dictate prices, that they're going to have the ability to control firms, if they retroactively can isolate and target individuals.
Then don't take the bailout money. Sean, let me ask you this. You didn't answer my question.
I said I don't want the bailouts.
I know, but the companies that do have bailout money right now, you want to let them do whatever they want with our money?
No, what I'm...
No, so then there you go. There's the legislation.
Here's the problem. It was Barack Obama and their administration that asked Chris Dodd to change the executive pay bonus structure. They purposely... No, I got to finish this.
Okay, go ahead.
They want this, they wanted that in place. What I am concerned about is the reckless, irresponsible, unprecedented spending that we can't sustain. What we can't sustain, government spending. I'm concerned about a $4 trillion budget, an omnibus bill.
We're all concerned about that, John.
So the bottom line is, I don't want the power of the government to be able to take over a private company. That's what they're asking for.
But if they're going to take our money, you better believe it. We're going to watch how they spend it, and there better be strings attached. No, you're
debating two different things.
They already have the money, Sean.
That's one issue, but Tim Geithner and...
So should there be no strings attached to the money they already have?
The president wants the right to seize company. The definition of socialism refers directly to the government taking over the means of production and the distribution of goods. That's what I'm concerned about.
We attract a level of talent in this company, in this government in this country. It's a business, Rebecca. If all of a sudden we have the government stepping in and regulating how we pay and the structure of payment to our biggest companies, we're attracting the brightest, the best and the brightest from around the world. Would you rather all this business
money? Then don't take the bailout money.
You're thinking very short term. You have to think long term.
Because they have the money right now.
And a lot of the top talent
you guys, if you don't put strings attached to these companies,
one at a time. I want the audience to hear.
If we don't put strings attached to these companies, we're going to have another AIG fiasco that we just had.
All right, Rebecca, but the problem
is... It's simple. It's very simple.
The problem is that Barack Obama put in the provision so AIG execs could get the bonuses. That's fact number one. Here's the problem. If we're going to look,
so we don't have that happen again.
At the most inefficient, bloated, massive enterprise that doesn't work, it's government. So the question is, if government's going to take over all these companies, and they're going to have all the strings attached, and they're going to guarantee auto warranties, I'm saying America is no longer a capitalist society, the capitalist society that has created a standard of living and the advancement of the human condition that is the envy of the world.
And the capitalist society is no longer here in the United States. It's going to move otherwhere.
Come on, you guys
it's going to move other places,
exactly.
and we will no longer have the talent
we
here.
We have the best country in the world. We have the best country in the world, okay? We have a capitalist system. No one's denying that our system is the best way to go. The markets are broken. They're trying to fix it. It may not be the best way to fix it, but at least we're trying to do something.
But
the fear of capitalism being gone,
Rebecca,
come on, you guys.
Rebecca,
give me a break.
Rebecca, $10 trillion in debt. By 2019, with Obama spending, we're going to be servicing that debt at $806 billion a year. I argue that's unsustainable. Am I wrong?
Right now, the Obama administration has to stop just short-term reacting to all of the outrage out there and putting things in place that will solve short-term problems, because we have to really start thinking big picture right now.
Banks, stop taking our bailout money. Banks, stop taking the money. Fix it yourself.
Government, stop offering it.
Don't rely on us. Don't rely on my taxpayer dollars.
Put it in their
Don't
hands.
take it from me. I don't like seeing every week my paycheck getting smaller and smaller.
There's one other thing, but then government should get out of the business of designing cars with CAFE standards, economy standards, bad trade policy, and everything else, every other burden they put on with your regulation.
Companies need to go back to capitalism 101.
Good to see you, Rebecca. And coming up, President Obama's